If I were going to start my niche fragrance collection from scratch, from zero, what are the 10 fragrances that I would start with? Stay tuned, because coming up next, I'm going to tell you which ones. Welcome back, everybody, to Joel the Nose, coming to you here, as you can see, from Osme Perfumery in Miami. And today I wanted to do a topic because it's a lot of comments and questions I'm getting from subscribers are recommending kind of niche fragrances because they're just starting to get into the niche fragrance world, and you know, they feel kind of lost because obviously it can be pretty overwhelming. And I thought about this and like, you know, when I started my niche fragrance journey, which was about 5 years ago, here at Osme, when I stumbled into the store one day because I was walking through Wynwood, and I had no idea where to begin with. And I, thought about this a lot, that a lot of people could use some help or some guidance or some advice on 10 fragrances that would be a great start for your collection, that would give you a nice variety of niche fragrances that are going to be not too overwhelming, but also kind of get you into this. I would call these like the gateway drug of the niche fragrance world, the gateway niche fragrances to kind of get you going and give you a really solid base. So without further ado, let's get right into this. I'm doing a top 10. These could be in any order, but I had to put them in some order, so let's just do it how I labeled it. Coming in at number 10, what I would recommend, and this is Non Bon. Non Bon from Arquiste. This is an American-Mexican house. So it's a cool combination of talent. They're based in New York City, originally from Mexico. Non Bon to me is just a beauty of a super powerhouse, dark, amber, masculine, hyper masculine fragrance. This is like when you really want to impress a woman, Non Bon is something. So I think this is a great one to have in your collection that's going to make you stand out and really show that you have stepped up into the niche fragrance world. Let's go to number 9. Number 9 is Cedret Boys from, of course, Mancera. This is, for those of you who don't know, created by Pierre Montal. He also does Pierre Montal also does Montal fragrances. He has that fragrance line, and he has Mancera. This is been around for about 10 years now. Really kind of a classic in the niche fragrance world, a really good beginner fragrance, but it's one I've said before should be in every niche fragrance lover's collection. It has that Aventus vibe, kind of citrusy, lemony, beautiful fragrance, lasts all day, wonderful, wonderful. Highly recommend it, and again, should be in everyone's top 10 niche collection, especially if you're getting started. All right, number 8. Number 8 from the house of Musk Milano. This is Mandala. Mandala is one of my absolute fragrances. This fragrance house, Musk Milano, is without a doubt, I think, one of the best niche fragrance houses going out there right now. This is, it's this beautiful incense, kind of ginger, smooth, creamy fragrance. It's something that is so perfectly unisex for man or woman. It's just an absolute must. And I would begin, if I started all over again today from scratch, this is one of the ones that would be in my first 10 bottles. All right, number 7. This would be Neo. And Neo is one that, so Neo from Serjov. I debated between Udin and Neo. Udin is one of my personal favorites, but if I was starting from scratch, that's the whole criteria here, is Neo is such a popular, loved fragrance. It's got this kind of sharp opening. It dries down into this beautiful kind of rose, cardamom, incense, nutmeg, bottom or middle, that is just a really good all-around everyday fragrance that you can wear anywhere. So Neo from Serjov, put it in your top 10 if you're starting your niche collection. Number 6, back to Pierre Montal, but this time from his Montal house. And this is Amber Musk. Amber Musk, it's just this beautiful light musk fragrance that's not overpowering, and you got to have a musk fragrance in your beginning when you're starting out. And amber is just a quintessential beautiful niche element. So Montal all day performance, you're going to get over 8 hours. Again, Pierre Montal has the Mancera house and he has this house Montal. I would go with Amber Musk if I was starting over with my top 10. All right, coming in at number 5 is Invasion Barbar from MDCI Parfums. You've seen me talk about this before if you've watched my channel. It's made a number of my top 10 lists for different, look at that, I love that atomizer spray. This is the perfect barbershop fougere, one of the originals, Invasion Barbar. It is always in the top 10 for anyone when they talk about a fougere. You gotta have a fougere in your niche collection when you're starting out. So yes, I mean, MDCI, wonderful niche, French niche house. You could also put Fête Person in there. That's a little bit higher step up for me because it's a little bit more unique. But if you want to, you got to have a fougere in your top 10 when you're starting out, and you just don't get better than Invasion Barbar. All right, coming in now, number 4. And what do we have here, of course? So I get the bottle so you can see it. Oud for Greatness by Initio. Got to have an oud fragrance in your starter kit for niche world. I know some people are like, oud, what? I don't want to start with oud. Oud for Greatness is a great introductory oud fragrance for those of you that are a little bit nervous. It's really just one of these kind of very pleasant, soft, subtle oud. It's got a lot of saffron and kind of fruity at the top, so it just really kind of masks almost the oud in a way that you're just getting a little bit poking through, and it's a great way to start. And if you're going to start your niche fragrance journey, you should start with oud, and let's start with something that's easy to wear and very pleasant. Number 3, coming in from Parfums de Marly, this is Carlisle. I was debating between Carlisle and Layton, really either one, I think. These are 2 classic fragrances. It's that Oriental, they're known for their kind of Oriental fragrances, spicy, sweet, almost kind of cinnamony. This is just, again, a wonderful unisex fragrance. And again, you could go with Layton too. This is kind of a personal choice, but you gotta have a Parfums de Marly when you're starting your niche fragrance journey. And these are 2 of their all-time classics, Layton or Carlisle. All right, coming in, number 2 is Reflection Man from Amouage. You know, again, Beach Hut Man is actually my favorite fragrance, but I don't know if you're starting out your journey, whether that's a fragrance, again, in your top 10, your first 10 that you're gonna own. Reflection Man is just such a great masculine, but still fresh. It's not overpowering. It's just this is just a very masculine, wonderful fragrance. Definitely if I was starting my journey, this would be in my top 10. Now we're coming down, and I actually have a tie for number 1. And it's a little bit of a sentimental reason because they really were the first kind of 2 niche fragrances I owned. And if you are starting your fragrance journey, I'm gonna put these 2 at co-equal number 1. 8 and Bob. This is the original 8 and Bob, the classic. You just don't get more, oh, just got in my eye. How do you like that? You don't get more classic kind of introductory level niche world fragrance than 8 and Bob. And that doesn't mean it's like a bad fragrance. It's a wonderful fragrance, okay? It's just extremely pleasing. It's extremely fresh. You have this very citrus light top. And it's one of those fragrances that people will like, they'll like on you. And if you're coming from the designer world, this is a great way to ease into the niche world. And along those lines, I'm going with my co-equal number 1 from Ormond Jane. This is Ormond Man. Now, you could also go personally with Zizon. The only reason why I don't have Zizon now is because it's harder to get here in the States. After COVID, they've kind of reshuffled their lineup and not everything is available here in the States. So if Zizon was readily available, I would have chosen that. But Ormond Man still is This is classic British royalty, elegance, class. You put this on, you can wear it with a great suit, a great jacket, going out, dinner party, work, whatever it is. But those were two of my very first journeys into the niche world, and they kind of helped me get my nose going towards all these other fragrances. But you can't go wrong with any of these 10. You could start out with any of these 10 and you'd be doing well. So let me hear your comments, guys. What were your first 10 if you have 10 niche fragrances? Or what do you think should be on this list? That's even maybe a more fun question. What do you think should be on the list of your 10 first niche fragrances when you're getting into this niche fragrance journey? Love to hear the comments again. This is Joel the Nose coming to you again here from Osme Perfumery in Miami. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please hit subscribe if you haven't already and like the video. And I'll be back soon, guys, with another video. All I gotta say is peace and love.